So after that little tidbit of drama with the anniversary rewards, I want to talk about something else. I want to chat a little about where the ecosystem is going, since we got a couple little neat additions coming to the game in 2.3. Let's talk about the malnourished baby elephant in the room, the main stat selector. It's fair to say people were mostly underwhelmed or disappointed. I'm sure plenty of folk are at least somewhat stoked about it, but it's a very, very minor addition. Because it doesn't address the so-called problem with the substats because it doesn't touch them, and it's for the main stat of unleveled echoes only. It's a very minor piece of QOL. In essence, all it will do is give you around 20 more echoes to roll on per patch. From the numbers I've seen, that's about the median amount. Depends on how the events give them out and whether you buy the battle pass. But ultimately, it doesn't matter that much whether it's 20, 30, or 40, since it's not gonna be 500. It's convenience rather than some kind of big overhaul, which is what people beg for rather desperately. If you were unhappy before, you still will be. One substat selector per patch would do more than this will. Hell, allowing us to change the main stat of an already optimized echo once per patch would also do more. Which is arguably an already rather niche thing, but it would have a very good use. The best example would be your forecast for your main DPS. The most optimized builds tend to have a crit damage forecast, but you have to do some adjustments, potentially pull a signature, or hell, even another character. So you may have to default to a crit rate echo instead. But if that crit rate echo is really good, it would really hurt to have to roll another one that can compare, so being able to make that switch would be pretty nice. Especially if you've been on that crit rate grind for a while, and maybe have already switched out some echoes. Maybe you're sitting on a 5 out of 5 crit rate forecast already. But alas, that's not the case. The main stat selector is mostly a farming QOL, and I would not be surprised if players stock up on these bad boys like they're sitting on their Bitcoin waiting for a price surge. It's definitely not bad, but it does feel like they've found the most minimal adjustment they could possibly make to how we, the players, interact with the ecosystem. A quick note on substat selectors or rerollers. I know a lot of people are banging the drums of war for us to get them. I'd like you to think about how much of that you want. 1 per patch, 3 per patch, 10 per patch, or just make it a tuner-based system instead. Personally, unless it's some exclusive item we get very little of, I believe wholeheartedly it would put a hell of a bigger dent in the future of Wuwa than 60 pulls or something for the anniversary rewards. 60 pulls can amount to absolutely nothing. 5 substat selectors guarantees you a slot on your character you will probably never farm again, and that's across the entire player base. Yes, the results of the pulls will vary. Some people will pull 60 times and get 6 limited 5 stars. That guy should drop gacha entirely and ride the wave into a casino, cause he'll come out of there a millionaire. While others will have to do the whole 160 for 1 5-star. But with the substats, every single player of every luck bracket just got a 5 out of 5 echo. You know, just as an example, and some food for thought when it comes to the topic of selectors and all that. As for the other piece of QOL, no cooldowns on forecast bosses. There's nothing to say other than this is phenomenal, and it should have been in the game from day one. No more me looking at menus to kill time. I don't even remember any of the things I looked at, like my brain shut down entirely, trying to make that 1 minute pass faster. Now it's just going to be a crisp, rapid-fire farming session for my forecast, which will seriously dampen the blow of waiting for a minute or two to get healing bonuses on every boss I kill and get 400 fallacies with all the crit stats on the face of the earth. Hell, we already experienced all that when we farm our Dreamlesses and Juways. Bam, 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 and it's gonna be that way for all of them now. And before I wrap up this little ramble session, I gotta say, god damn it, Kuro, please let us fly into 1.x regions already. I don't see what's the excuse at this point. I saw a guy comment on my 4 dumbest things in Wuwa video. He said something along the lines of there's gotta be some kind of geometry or borders problem. I don't quite believe that for 2 reasons. First, we can get a solid amount of airtime already just by jumping off one of the many cliffs present in those maps. And second, the borders are baked into the cake already. They're those red areas that, just push you the hell back. I've said several times I don't think this should be a default for anyone starting out. I don't even think you should be able to fly everywhere as soon as you hit Rinasida. It should be a reward for players that have 100%ed the area. Because the experience was fantastic back then without any flying. I still enjoy going back to Huanglong and running around, but that shiny reward would be great for farming and experiencing the region in a fresh way. And honestly, at least it feels that unlike 2.x, there's still a lot of stuff left to find beyond the 100% milestone in 1.x, and especially Huanglong. Aside, of course, from Desert Highland for some godforsaken reason, Huanglong in general is extremely generous with that 100%. Seriously, do you guys remember 100%ing Desert Rock? I still have a void in my soul from that experience, cause that right there sure felt like it was asking me for a true 100%. I think it would be a glorious addition to the game, and I can't think of any reason it's not in it. Hey Kuro, you don't have to give it out all willy-nilly. Make everyone earn that. I have everything at 100%. Let me fly, damn it! So yeah, that was a quick little ramble about something that popped into my head while I was doing what you may be seeing on the screen right now. Have fun, folks!